episode of Daydreamers with Himika. It is interesting, right, that man has always had a love affair with evolution. Started with fire those millions of years back, and thank God he started doing a lot of evolution with food after that, food with fire. As time went on, this evolution journey also went on. We changed our kitchens with more technology, microwaves came in, more food technology entered, and eventually today, with the blessings of AI, we have a technique through which robots can enter into the kitchen and cook our most favorite dishes. To tell us more about this kind of an innovation is Yatin Varacchia of Euphotic Labs with me, and he is going to talk to us about his robotic invention called Nosh, which is capable of cooking about 200 or more Indian and Western dishes. Yatin, welcome to Daydreamers with Himika.
Thanks, Himika. Thanks for having me here and pleasure connecting with you and your audience.
Lovely, Yatin. Thanks for coming along. So, Yatin, I want to ask you, I read about your invention, Nosh. We are going to go, of course, into the details of Nosh in our second question, but the invention sounds very fascinating to me. I know the backstory that as a couple, you and your wife were, having a little trouble in, the entire how to make the food kitchen go on, etc. And that's when this invention came about. But what happens in most Indian houses is if there is a time problem, people normally go to maids. They find a way, but nobody thinks about robots in the kitchen. So how did this robots in the kitchen come across, one? And second, how did you come about with the second part of the plan? Thinking is one thing, but going and creating it, that is a mammoth task. So please tell me about this robot.
Yeah, so typically we also for the first solution we went to also to hire a cook and then get it done to them, right? But we being good Jews settled in Bangalore, we are very our taste buds are very specific, right? So we couldn't get someone who can cook as per that. So I think I was helping her or trying to help her there in the kitchen, and there I being engineer from Indian Institute of Science and I had a lot of hardware, so I started thinking like what can I automate. So I was always fascinated by the automation part, right? Like from factories to wherever there's automation, I get very curious. So that's why I had a lot of automation background and the hardware background. So that just kept start me thinking like what can I automate. And initial part frankly was hard because just to choose what to automate there, right? There's so many things that happens in the kitchen and which part to go and target and solve it. And that also come from the other side that okay, what is solvable? Like with current technologies where we stand right now, what is solvable? So I did lot of experiment early days in a part-time way where I developed some spice dispensing mechanism, ingredient dispensing mechanism, then also conceptualizing what can happen, what can't happen. Right? I gave actually good try to automate chopping as well in initial days. So that's how entire process went on. So I kind of spent good 6 8 months exploring it part time, thinking what that I need to go about and solve it. So yeah, that's how it happened.
So that's the part of how this journey began and, attained some kind of fulfillment. My second question is, why is the name Nosh? Where is the idea coming from?
Yeah, so in fact, Himika, initially we were called the company is still called Euphotic Labs. So company name was Euphotic, and the idea was that we will create euphoria food, right? So that's where euphoria automatic kind of became Euphotic Labs, and then we were thinking about product name, what should we name the product, and that time. So I was very keen that the word should be noun as well as verb. So noun so that we can name it to the product, and verb so that like someone can tell like okay, someone can actually use for eating food, right? So We name it Nosh because Nosh means food and Nosh means eating greedily. So the idea is like not to prepare food which people can eat really greedily. Like it should be so tasty and so balanced, right? So that's how entire idea of Nosh came in. Nosh is the naming, and then we envision that like food should be so that later on people can use as a verb, right? Like I'm noshing today, that way. So that's how Nosh name so came in for this. Yeah.
And what does the Nosh do? Can you tell us the technology of Nosh?
Yeah, so Nosh can prepare your all pot meals, like anything you cook in karai or pressure cooker, it can do automatically, right? So what you need to do is load. So it comes with an ingredient tray where there are multiple slots. You fill in the ingredient, load the ingredient tray inside the device, command it to cook from your mobile phone or from the device, and it start cooking. So it has preloaded recipe. It starts following that and give you completely uh, prepared food, like recipe followed complete food it gives you. You take it out and consume it. So you don't have to know how to cook. What you don't have do not just only like it's not automating just cooking part, but also how to cook a dish, right? Like also being curious of questions about what to do, what goes where, and all those things are getting eliminated. You just need to load it and then it gets done.
Oh, wonderful. And how easy for the kitchen now. Um, how did 200 dishes? That's a big number. How did you come across compiling so much?
So, see, one part about this entire process, right, is called braising process. And what happens is most of our braising recipe follow a very simple sequence, which is you put in some oil, then put some aromatics, which is ginger, garlic, or onions, which are aromatics. Then put in the main ingredient or some acid, like typically in Indian food that is tomatoes, and then you put main ingredient. Right, so that's how entire cooking happens. Sometimes you add water, sometimes you don't add the water. So that way, it is actually an algorithm that anyway we follow during our cooking. So with change in the ingredient and change in the process, we can create lots and lots of recipes. So this is 200 is the starting point. Like in fact, with NOS, the recipes are actually on the cloud. So device is Wi-Fi connected and it has connectivity with your cloud. So from your couch, you can browse the recipe and say that okay, I want to consume this new recipe. You command it and it actually go through cloud, and from cloud the recipe get downloaded to the device and it starts cooking. So the recipe keep on adding. Like it is not that you have 200 recipes that are there and those only and you have to work in. It keeps on getting added through us or some other recipe creator. It will keep on adding.
Okay, okay. While it is a great idea, I want to ask you that in a nation that still has a fascination with मैंने अपने हाथों से घर का खाना बनाया है, how has the market reaction really been?
Actually, we were amazed. So, what happened was we were thinking initially that India it might not be big success. We will have few installation and then we'll go to US market or Europe market, and then that's where the maximum adoption will happen. We were amazed by how many people from India reach out to us. Like 3 days, I was continuously on the customer call, like entire day, like till morning 4 a.m. I was with on the call. So we got tremendous response. Some at least I have talked to 500 people after that PR. So complete 2 weeks we have been only talking to people who are interested in buying this product. So we have got hundreds of pre-orders right now through India, right? And we were very amazed. So what happens is people when like lot of new things came in and which we didn't anticipate, right? So though you would like to cook, but cooking daily is not something you enjoy, right? So let's say you want to cook something new, want to cook something exciting, but doing that one recipe like you keep on cooking, right? That gets boring for even housewife who are staying at home, and this is not. And actually, they also run quite busy, right? So if you are a urban family with two kids, even mother is not working, it becomes very hard to manage, and that's what we realized through this customer call we got. So initially we are thinking that number of working women itself is very low in India. So how we will get such a response? But that was really the response was really different. And one other segment that came on other than the mothers was elderly, like a lot of elderly who are retired and now uh, don't want to like they get tired cooking, right? So and many have kids staying in cities or kids staying in outside India abroad, right? So they also came in very passionately for this kind of product. So that is one customer segment we never anticipated that they will be interested in this kind of product. So yeah, I think people people love to have something like people love to cook, but daily cooking still becomes a chore that they have to do. So that's where it is coming in.
If you don't mind telling us, then how much is the product priced at right now?
Yeah, so product is 50,000 rupees will be the cost. So right now we are taking pre-orders. So for people who book pre-orders now, they get it at 40,000 rupees. Also, they get bunch of other benefits like they get lifetime recipes for free. So whatever we create as a recipe, they will get free for lifetime, right? Then they will get so they will have say on like this 200 recipe, which recipe and how they should be. So they'll be given the trial. They can come over, they do the taste trial, and they will be given their opinion will really matter. In fact, the next year, 2022, we are going to only ship this pre-order uh, shipment because this initial customer we want to give the best service so that like we want to provide them everything that needs and we want to understand like what it takes to deliver the best customer experience. So that's how we are planning our pre-orders.
So that is about innovation and demand. Now I want to come more, delve a little deeper into the economics of it. Can you tell me, from an investment point of view, how has the journey been? How has the community, the startup community per se, reacted? The investor community, and how are the balance sheets looking like for you? If you may say a little about it.
Yeah. Uh, so basically, I think India with deep R&D, right, where you require years of spending on the R&D or right, and how we started is like initially we put in 7 lakh rupees to start going. We created a prototype, very large prototype, like it was like a satellite kind of large prototype. But it was cooking and it was cooking well, and we did a lot of iteration there. And then friends and family came. Like my three of my friends put in five lakhs, and I got 15 lakhs, and that gave us more fuel to run. One biggest supporter has been Government of India. So we got two grants from Government of India. One is Nidhi Prayas, one is Department of MSME, and also we got a seed funding from Sign IIT Bombay, like that was 40 lakh rupees, and that also eventually came from Government of India, right? So in a way, Government of India supported us very well through this journey. Now we are getting very good response to take it to production. We have already investment commitment, and that way we like entire journey. Our friends and the government of India has been a very big part here. So yeah, on the balance sheet side, like we are R&D company, right? We only spend, we don't earn right now. So pre-order is the only revenue stream, and in the investment we run through investment. That's how we run. Yeah.
That's some great news coming from the government of India with the kind of support that they are showing to the Indian startup and SME industry. Your product, Nosh, could be a fantastic fit for the international markets. Any plans of going international?
Yeah, so next year we are going to start doing trials in the international market, specifically US. We are going to and start doing trials even there. So 2023 is where we see that lot of revenue coming from the international market. But 2022 will be doing trials and customer feedback. And so 2020 three is when we were looking for get more revenue from the international market. 2022 will focus on aligning this product to the international market.
Interesting. Uh, I'm going to have my final two questions to you now. See, your product essentially changes the way India and the rest of the world would be doing things at a very household level, which is a great change, which is the mammoth shift. If I were to ask you that if you could name three startups that you think are doing equal mammoth shifts for humanity through their innovations, who do you think would they be?
I think I'm big admirer of Elon Musk and Tesla, and starting from what they are doing on the electrical space, on the entire transportation space, right? It is not just that they are making electrical cars, but they are actually changing how cars are made. So that you call it startup or not, but they are very startup-like thinking. The Neuralink also, I'm very amazed with how machines and the human will able to work together. So that is one like those are the two startup I admire the most. Also on the space side, lot of actually space side, lot of Indian startup what they are doing is also quite amazing. So Agnicool, Ballistic, they are doing some amazing work there, and I'm really big admirer that side. Um, I'm actually more towards our environment side also, and some of my friends who are doing environment starting up, but those are who are working on recycling. Those are who are working those startups.
Interesting. In fact, I totally agree with you on the Skyroot example. Sorry, yeah, you can hear me? So I totally agree with you on the
Yes.
yes. I totally agree with you on the Indian space tech example because even in my show Daydreamers, I've had a lot of space tech companies coming right from Bellatrix to Skyroot. There are so many of them. In fact, Agnicool, we are speaking right now about doing an interview soon sometime, which I hopefully will happen. But yes, lots happening on that space and from the India side.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Yatin, when I spoke to you the last time, I asked you that if there is a possibility of a little demo that we could do on the show with Nosh, where you could showcase, help us see some cooking, etc., on the machine, and you said you agreed. So what are we cooking today? Can you please tell me?
So we will be cooking kadai paneer now. It's been Indian house, a very urban Indian household name. We consume it multiple times. So I'll be just showing the demo how it is cooking kadai paneer.
Lovely. So to all our audience, while we all love the kadai paneer and our family has all the maids have been cooking it for us or we have been ordering it, for the first time I guess there's going to be a robo who's going to be cooking kadai paneer. So please watch this lovely video and maybe you'll want to order the nosh after that. Thank you so much, Yatin, for taking time in between your busy schedule. I know this has been a difficult one to agree to, because obviously you're very, from what I understand, it's a very, very packed, busy schedule for you with too many orders coming up. But I hope the orders continue to keep coming. And all the very best for Euphotic Labs, for Nosh. And I really hope we have more innovations coming from your end for India and the world.
Thanks a lot, Himika. Thanks for having me here, and we really enjoyed the conversation and looking forward for great interaction.